Hey guys, welcome to Vancouver Island Bushcraft. Hey, I got sent a product. You know, like these other bushcrafters, get sent a product to review. So this product is called a bear bowl, and I have to admit I've already used it once to make sure everything was fine because there's no point in doing this on camera and having everything go bad. Although I'm sure you guys would love that. Anyway, so I'm going to show you this here. Some of the nuances of what you can and can't do with it and that kind of thing. And then I'm also going to take it out into the woods and do it in a real world situation as well. So stay tuned, and I'm going to present to you the bear bowl. All right, everybody. So I got sent two of these bowls, one of the smaller ones and one of the bigger ones. And I think it's the Papa Bear and the Baby Bear, I think. I'm not sure. It doesn't say which one's which. But this is the bear bowl here. I think some of you guys have probably seen this product. Now, I saw this originally on one of the other Bushcraft channels, and I thought, what an amazing idea to have a product like this, because as you guys know, my EDC includes a fair amount of stuff. I have shelter, I have fire, I have water tablets. I have pretty much everything that I need if I was to go out into the woods and be able to put an impromptu shelter up, get a fire going. I usually have some Bovril with me to have a little bit of a soup sort of idea, so I would not be suffering too badly. I mean, it'd be a little bit of survival, but nothing too bad because I keep that stuff with me. But one of the things that I am missing in my EDC, my everyday carry, is a pot. Because you can't carry a pot with you with your clothing. It's just too bulky. And to be able to cook the Bovril, to be able to boil water, to cook noodles, you need to have something to cook it in. And that's the one thing that was missing from my EDC, but not anymore. These guys were gracious enough to send me two of these to review for them. And I got to tell you, I've tried it off camera. I wanted to try it the first time off camera so that I knew how to open and close it, and all the little nuances to make sure everything was fine. And I'm really impressed with this product. I'm going to show you. I got two of them here. I got the larger one, and this is the Papa Bear. It's called. Folds up into. I mean, seriously, that's so thin. There's hardly any thickness to this whatsoever. This does fit in my pocket, no problem, in my pants. This one here, I've already put together, and you can see the amount of volume. It's incredible. I cooked the Sidekicks pasta in here with the mashed potatoes, and it only came up to here. So that's a huge amount of volume, and it also breaks down to absolutely nothing. I'll show you. I'm still new at putting these things together. They're actually very simple. Like my learning curve was literally, I don't know, 30 seconds. But this is the difference in the sizes, and they fit in your pocket really well. And what's cool with these as well is the stove that we have here. You guys are aware, remember this little stove? This little guy here, it comes together and, a little square. This is small enough that you can actually take this one, put the stove in here, okay, now you have a pot and a stove in this little package. Isn't that incredible? I'm pretty happy with this. And also, with this here, when you open it up, there's these little sort of areas here, and I thought, why not put a couple of packages of Bovril on one side and a couple of packages of Bovril on the other side, so we actually have something that we can, oops, there we go, we actually have something that we can cook. So now it's in there, they're not coming out because they're sealed, and so now I have a pot with Bovril. The larger one, I have the stove. Of course, you can put the Bovril packs in the large one too. So you have a stove with the pot and some food. So actually, really incredible. All right. Now my phone stopped ringing. Okay, so I thought next what I would try to do is just boil up some water on a fuel stove. Now when I go out into the woods, I'm going to be using a wood stove, the little square one that I just showed you, and doing it on there in a controlled way, because there's a warning on it that says you're not supposed to get the sides so that the flame is touching it. So obviously this is going to be fine, and then I'll make sure that the wood one also is under control as well. So I think we should just cook up some bovril and see how well she works. So we have 1 cup of water. And we'll throw it on here. So no issues. It's obviously waterproof because this, the openings are at the top, and that's all. That makes sense, right? So what we'll do is we will wait until we get a boil, and we'll see how long it takes. I'm not anticipating that long. It's the metal plate on the bottom, and basically the guy says that this will stay hot for a fairly long time, but you can touch this after only about a minute or so. When I used it initially, and I had all the stuff boiling, I was able to grab the handle right away. So that's kind of a cool thing. So I'll bring you back when she comes to a boil, and I'm not anticipating any troubles. Like I said, I've used this once before. It doesn't leak. It gets hot really quick. I don't see any issue. This thing's great. The one thing that I would change, one thing that I would do, which I'm just going to do myself, is I would have increments so that if I need 250 milliliters of water, I know how much water to put on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie, and I'm just going to mark the outside at 250 and 500 milliliters so that when I get the water level, it'll be the water level that I need. For like Mountain House is a specific amount of water, the Sidekicks is a specific amount of water. I'm just going to mark it myself. But the one thing that I would add to this product that would make it more perfect than it is have increments in milliliters and or cups. Okay, I'll get back to you as soon as this thing starts to boil. Okay, so it's been about 60 seconds, believe it or not. And the amount of water is the amount of water that this cup would hold, about this much here. I just poured it in there, so about this much water. And she's boiling literally probably under 60 seconds to boil that much water. I know it's not that full, but it's 1 cup of bovril. Yeah, that boiled really good. And what's interesting is that when you take it off, it still boils because the metal plate is just as hot. So it'll keep your food nice and warm with no heat source. Well, there's a heat source, but no external heat source. I'm not sure how long it'll keep boiling, but that's kind of a neat feature. If you have a hot coffee and you want to keep it hot, this will keep it hot for a little bit longer because it just keeps it going, which is kind of neat. All right, so I'm going to have the bovril and finish that up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bear bowl, and I'm going to take the large bear bowl, I'm going to take it outside in the woods, and we're going to set it up with a wood fire under control so that it doesn't go over the top. And we're going to cook some bovril on a wood fire, or maybe some coffee in the woods. So I'll see you there. Okay, so we're at the bivouac, and boy is it ever raining. I came here, I've been here for a couple hours doing some repairs on the bivouac. The snow did a little bit of damage, and there's a lot of water. I'll give you a little bit of a look at what I've been doing. So it turns out this is the first time that we've had the bivouac here this time of year. So looks like we got ourselves a fairly large amount of water over here, and looks like it's creating a stream, and the stream is actually just bypassing the bivouac. You can see here, there's the bivouac, and the stream is just coming this way. So I dug it out there, and it's going to go to the stream. The stream's overflowed a significant amount. I'll come over here and show you. So here's the stream, and that's our bridge. It's almost covered. So a significant amount of water. It's pouring, like it's literally pouring out here. So
everything's repaired and we're good to go. The damage created a situation where the inside of the bivouac is a little bit wet. So I've cut some wood and I'm going to get a fire going, and then we'll continue with the review for the bare bowls, and we'll go from there, have some fun at the bivouac. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pouring out here. So I'm going to get the fire going and I'll get back to you and as soon as I get that going. Okay, so I'm processing the wood, trying to keep it as dry as possible. I'm literally sitting in the middle of the bivouac and there's water pouring here. It's just, the amount of rain is pretty incredible. There's a reason why they do the show alone on Vancouver Island. It's challenging to get stuff done. It's good though, it's a good practice. So basically I'll just switch it around here. What I've done is I've processed this wood, and as you can see, everything's wet in here, and it's fully covered. It's just that there's water just dripping and splashing everywhere. I'm dry. The bed here is dry because it's double tarped and has walls. The big reason why the water is coming in on either side is there's no walls. If I wanted to make this more permanent, I would put walls and do that kind of thing. But this is more of a challenge because it's wet. I'm going to switch it around and then show you just like how wet it is and how I'm processing this wood. So I initially cut a dead standing right here and cut them up, and as you can see, it's under cover, but they're wet all the way around, and the edges are starting to get a little bit damp from the splashing. And so what I did is I've processed them here, and as you can see, there's water everywhere. So as I'm processing them, they're getting splashed on. And as you can see now, like even the center that's really supposed to be dry is getting some dampness to it, and the air is damp as well. As I'm cutting, I can feel the wood is really damp. So I've got a couple of piles here. I got this pile here and a little bit bigger, and then even bigger still. Now if I was going to start this fire with a ferro rod, the only way that I'd be able to do this with any kind of success would be to go find some pitch or some fat wood and start it that way, get the fire hot enough to start it with the ferro rod and go from there. And that wouldn't be a problem. There's fat wood everywhere here, as you guys know. But something that I thought of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I've never seen anybody do this. You know how we always carry our pocket rocket stoves? And I'm thinking, why not use the stove, the fire from the stove, to start the wood on fire? So I'm going to give it a shot, see if it works. I've never seen anybody do it, and it should be hot enough to get the small pieces going and get a fire going. So I'm going to set you up, get the pocket rocket going. It's not actually a pocket rocket, it's like a knockoff, but it works just as good. And I paid $13 as opposed to $70. And let's see if we can get a fire going using this stove with the small pieces of wood that are damp. See what happens. Okay, I'll try to put you in a dry spot. Dryish. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's see if this works. I've never tried it before. Seems to be working, eh guys? Let's see if I take it away. No. Might have to start with smaller wood. Okay, we've got some flame. This side again. I'll do this side again. If it doesn't start, I'll start with smaller pieces, and then we'll go from there. I just assumed that these ones would be small enough, but maybe not. Let's see what happens. It's interesting, you got the cold fuel got put on the side there. Let that go out. Let's see if that starts. What do you think, guys? Is it gonna start? It's trying. This is just starting with the fuel stove and nothing else. I'll bring you back and let you know, but it looks like it's gonna go. Looks like it's going, but I'll let you know, and I'll be honest about it. If it didn't work, I'll let you know for sure. Okay, that totally didn't work. So I cut the pieces smaller, and we're gonna try it again. There might be a reason why nobody's ever tried this. We'll try it again. All right, put you down. Got the pieces a little bit smaller this time. And we'll see what's going on. Well, man. You made it out, eh?
Oh, yeah. I got bored. Look at this. Look at this bivouac unit going now.
I know, right?
You just start to getting that thing going now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing other stuff. I was actually fixing the bivouac. The snow played a little bit of havoc on it.
Oh yeah?
So I've been repairing that.
Hey, you broke Rick's shovel.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was bored sitting at home. It was ugly out this morning.
Yeah, well,
it
it wasn't too bad. It was basically the way it is right now.
Yeah.
Just dark.
Yeah, it was dark.
Coming in here in the dark was entertaining. Get a little bit of coffee going, and then we'll do that review of those bear bowls. Okay, guys, we finally got her going. So, definitely in a situation like this where the rain is as hard as it is, it's difficult to get this fire going for sure. Well, I mean, it goes, but this has been going now for about 10 minutes, and it's caught, but the amount of moisture in the air is causing it to very, very slowly start. So for those of you who figure that batoning is not necessary, you obviously do not live on the West Coast. There's no way that full branches would light in any way. You got to get the core of a dead standing and be really, really patient, because it takes a bit to get it going in this kind of weather. I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, so we're going to check out this pocket stove. I got some fat wood here, got the stove, we have the pot, and all this was in my pocket, believe it or not. So now we're going to try it real world with wood and boil ourselves some water. So my buddy Chris is here. Say hi.
Hey.
And he's going to hold the camera while I am loading this guy up. I don't know how wise it is to do this on a wooden table, but just go ahead and do it anyway. Now this will smoke significantly because it is fat wood. But on a day like this, I don't think it'd be very easy to get anything else going. So That should be plenty of fat wood. And I'll cheat and use a lighter. Let's see. Oh, cloth in there. Well, that side. So here I am spending, I don't know, the last hour getting that fire going, which is going now, but I could have used this fat wood like I had said in the beginning, and this is how long it would take to get it going. So we have a deficit here on Vancouver Island that we have a whole bunch of water, but we also have these. All right, I'm just going to take this here because it's not doing much. You can see how much this holds. A massive amount of water. Okay, so that's about 2/3 full. Now keep in mind you can't go any higher than the snaps because it will leak through the snaps. So you can't go any higher than that. So we'll put this on here. Now the fire is going over the sides, and it's not supposed to, but I'm going to see what happens. Will it destroy it or won't it? I don't know. This is looking a little bulged out. Let's see. Now you could, with the flames, put tin foil all the way around it so flames don't actually touch the sides. But we'll see. Looks like we're doing good. A lot of soot, but that's because of the fat wood. No damage so far. Looks like we're doing good. Oh, that's good. You guys will remember I did the silicone pot, and it said not to put any fire on the sides, and it was fine as well. And I'm imagining this is some kind of a silicone product. Now keep in mind, you're not supposed to have flame on the sides. I'm totally doing this against the manufacturer's instructions just to see what would happen. And so far I'm not seeing any issues whatsoever. Now keep in mind, it's filled with water as well, so the water will keep the temperature at a point where something won't melt. You can actually take a plastic bottle and put that in water and boil water in a plastic bottle, and it won't melt the plastic because the water will dissipate the heat. So this is basically the same idea of what's going on with this. But no damage at all. It's just soot. There's absolutely no damage whatsoever. Water is nice and hot.
That was fast.
No damage whatsoever. Yeah, it actually warms up pretty fast. This metal plate really warms it up. Nice hot water. Yeah, it seems to work really well. Now again, when you're doing this, don't put flame on the sides, and if you do that, put some tin foil on there. But I wanted to try it real world. You know, you got yourself a stove, you got yourself some wood. I mean, there's going to be some flame going on the sides, and it's important to see if this thing can handle it. And these guys did a bang-up job making this thing. This whole thing was in my pocket. It was all broken down in my pocket, and it's incredible how small these things. This is the bigger one. As you can see, it's bigger than this, and they just go to nothing. And as a matter of fact, this stove will actually fit inside this one. I have to put the stove side by side on these two, but this will actually fit in here, and I can actually take this and put this right in my pocket, which is really handy. Okay, we've got hot water. I'm going to take this off. No damage at all. Out. Hot. Solid. Base is on there. Hot. That was stupid. Yeah. Well, guys, this is real world. I mean, this is. I mean, we can always do it on these cans. I mean, that's a given right there. We know that works. We did that in the shop, and it worked no problem. But as you can see, it worked really well with the flame. It's recommended, once again, to use tin foil around the sides if you're going to have any flame touching it. But as you guys saw, there was no issue whatsoever. So I guess what we'll do is we'll shut it off. I'm going to put a little bit of pasta and stuff in here, cook this, and have a little bit of lunch. Thanks, Chris, for being my videographer. Well, guys, that worked out pretty good. Now this here is the pot and the stove all in one encased thing. And I've been carrying this with me as the EDC all week to see if it would be too heavy or anything like that, and no issues. With the pot and the stove, I can boil water if I need to out in the woods, pretty much anything. I'm really impressed with these pots. I see no issues with them whatsoever, other than you can't fill them up past the snaps, but that's common sense. Everything works really good on it. I've tried it with the stove, I've tried it with the fire, boiling water, cooking food in it. No issues whatsoever. Pretty impressed. I'm going to definitely keep one of these in my pack and keep one of these on my person as EDC from now on. Yeah. Hey, a couple of things that I noticed, by the way, off topic. You know how on my bivouac over here I have a whole bunch of fire starting stuff in case I can't get the fire started. The zip cubes that I had there, they weren't covered. They were just sitting there dry. I went to use them, not this time but last time, and they wouldn't light. So zip cubes out of the package in the environment will stop working as zip cubes, just so you guys know. I didn't know that. What else? Oh, I'm using paracord now for my boot laces. I use the one with the wax, and they are staying done up, no issues. They're not undoing whatsoever. The wax is working perfectly with that. So that's another update for you guys for that. What else was there? The fire is going really good. It's still struggling. I mean, it's going good. It's nice and warm, but it's this fire with this much wood should be up to here, but it's still struggling. I do have I have this piece of fat wood, and this thing is massive. Like, look, this is the size of my face. This is fat wood. This is solid fat wood. I could easily put this on the fire, and I'd have an 8-foot fire in no time. So that's one of the things. I mean, here in BC, we don't have any birch, pretty much at all. So this is the kind of fire we have to make. But I mean, if we needed to, we just grab fat wood, and the fire to be no problem. So my buddy's gone. He just stayed here for an hour or so, or 2 hours, and we shot the 22, and I shot the 12 gauge. And it's the first time ever shooting a shotgun. Wow, does that thing have a kick? I'm going to feel my shoulder, I'll tell you tomorrow. Still pretty cool, but I didn't know it had that much of a kick. He actually laughed. He knew, so he just stood back and watched. It's pretty funny. Let's see. I'm going to have some lunch, I think. I'm going to have some noodles and relax. It stopped raining. It's really nice now, but it's still really wet. This whole area is soaked. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Hey guys, this is the 12 gauge that I got. It's pretty nice. And I'm going to fire it at this guy right here. So let's see how that goes. I'll just put you down right here on this guy. All right. Let's see. Well, that sure has a kick to it, doesn't it? Well, that definitely does a lot more damage than the 22, doesn't it? Whew. There is nothing left of it. Nothing. How cool is that? So I went to the tree and retrieved the pieces of metal. I didn't want to have them staying in the forest. And these are what I could find, what's left of the can. That's fairly powerful. My very first time firing a shotgun. Very accurate, very powerful. I'm very impressed. Craziness. Hey guys, just sitting here, relaxing next to the fire. Did you guys know that this is my 100th video? Isn't that crazy? 100 videos on bushcraft. Who knew I knew stuff? Anyway, so yeah, 100 videos on different aspects of bushcraft. Most of them anyway. A couple of them were just fun Christmas stuff and summer stuff, of course. For those of you who have been with me for all 100, thank you so much. You know, I appreciate your comments. There's a few of you that comment almost every single time, and I actually look forward to it. I look for the comments, and I'm going to keep doing this. I've been doing this, I guess, for about a year now, and last time I checked, I was almost at 400. By the time I get home, I'll probably be at 400 subscribers. 20,000 views. It's been great, and I'm glad that the 100th video was a review on that pot, because I think the guy that did that pot did a really good job and deserves as much what's the word I'm looking for, as much exposure as possible, because I think it's a great product. He hasn't paid me anything to do this. He gave me those pots. You know, full disclosure, he gave me those pots, but you know, if I had seen that they didn't work, I would have been pretty honest about it. That's one of the things when somebody will give me something to review, I'll review it very honestly. I don't really care. But no, these guys did a bang-up job, and I'm glad it was my 100th video. So I'm gonna sit by the fire. I'm gonna relax for a bit, and then I'm gonna probably take off. It's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning, and it's been great. So thanks for joining me. If you guys like those pots, feel free to, you know, Google it, and the bear bowls they're called, and grab them. Up to 35 bucks for one or two. They're cheap. And please subscribe if you haven't. Those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you next time on video 101. Take care, guys.